much for that. So yeah, while we do want to help our clients increase sales, I'd say the purpose and what I really like about virtual tours is it's a technology that can provide people looking online with really good visual information, and it's interactive, so they can explore, they can look, they can find the information that interests them, and how they engage will differ from person to person. And I think a virtual tour as a technology can really help people make decisions, whether that's buying decisions or about houses. I'll cover some of the industries as well. It's really easy to absorb as well. Like, we'll photograph and scan buildings, and compared to trying to take lots of still photos, it makes it really easy to understand when you're just clicking and dragging and looking around. Equipment started off kind of with the Google Street View route with the digital SLR camera up the top left, a 8mm fisheye lens and a panoramic head, taking photos in multiple angles and stitching those together. Over the years have tried a few of the little consumer 360 cameras, and they're interesting for a week or so and then click dust somewhere. And mostly what I'm using at the moment is the Matterport Pro 2 camera. So it's basically a 360 camera, but it's also doing 3D scanning, and combining the two to provide quite a nice user experience, smooth transitions. And I'll cover just a few examples of work. So I'll play videos because it's easier, but all this is screen recordings of finished virtual tours, just with me recording my screen and interacting. And this is on YouTube. So we've scanned the cinema, and the purpose of the scan is really for its newly built cinema, and the company can use it to promote what they've created. Previously you saw the 3D dollhouse, and now it's basically just playing through the tour in a video mode. And if you're interacting with this, you can always just click to pause it and take control. And in the 3D view, you can just click to go anywhere in particular. And we really wanted to give people an understanding of what to expect to help in their decisions about whether they want to come and visit this cinema. So part of that was taking some shots with the lights down and with the lights up. Another example is a hotel in Wellington, and this was shot with the 360 digital SLR setup. And most of our work we don't have people present, but it is actually quite a lot of fun to involve people, and it does make it, gives it more of a human side. And really, the purpose of the virtual tour is to show the hotel facilities online, make it really easy for people to see what the facilities are like, and hopefully help in their buying decision about whether to book a room or to book a conference facility. Because virtual tours like this can have quite a lot of 360 photos, and if we just started in the lobby, people may not go where we want them to go, so the menu just kind of gives people an idea of what they can potentially see by moving around, and provides quick navigation to various 360 views. This one I wanted to quickly show because it was a little bit different. Most of our work is for companies to to promote their sales and marketing. This was a kind of a COVID-inspired one where we had construction managers overseas that couldn't come and see a store fit out in New Zealand, and we did weekly scans of this space to provide with the construction managers overseas to see the progress. And it's about a 3,000 square metre space, and each one of these scans is fully comprehensive, so you can walk around and the managers were able to use it to really check on every detail of the construction progress to make sure they were happy with it. And this video kind of just quickly takes you through some of the weeks. And again, I'm just clicking and moving around here. I won't play the whole thing. But I found this really interesting as well, just to see a different industry and get involved. Because one of the things I like about what I do is it's all varied. I might be photographing a hotel or a gym, or suddenly I'm in high-vis gear and a hard hat and doing a construction site. So over 10 weeks, fit-outs completed. One of the other things that was interesting in this project is I kept having to work around a lot of people that were working on the site, and the camera is actually taking 360 photos, but it's also scanning, and each time I move the camera and take another image, it's trying to match where it was before. People make that a little bit difficult. They're okay. It's the scissor lifts which kind of make things really difficult, because it's trying to match to a scissor lift, and then it's suddenly the guys have put it back down and moved it on, and I found that I needed to keep starting again, which made this quite time consuming at times to capture. And then there was the final store just after opening day. An individual scan, the same building was always the same size, but it could take kind of 2 hours to do it. I had a really good run to 7-8 hours if it was a difficult run. This is actually a video, so we did two virtual tours of the Plumline showrooms. They have one in Auckland, one in Wellington, and again they're using the virtual tour to reach a wider audience through the internet, and I think part of it would be to give people the confidence to come into the showroom because they know what to expect, but we've also got a lot of information tags where people can actually see a product in the virtual showroom and get some additional information on it, potentially go to the website and potentially buy it online. There's also what's been shown here, the ability to measure. And Plumline really like this because people will be interested in whether the baths and the cabinets are going to fit in their own space. And there's kind of the link, so you can kind of view it on the virtual tour and then go to the website. There's a lot of these for real estate these days. We don't do a lot of real estate work, but I do see it as huge future potential. And I do think it's one of the best use cases for the basic virtual tours that I'm creating, in that they provide buyers really good visual information about what a property looks like and can save consumers time in deciding which properties to visit. Or even potentially make purchasing decisions, which certainly has happened. What's improved for me in the last 5 years? Internet and computer speeds has certainly meant that we can load higher quality imagery, and it can render faster, and the transitions moving to place can be much smoother. There have been some feature improvements like the measuring mode that you saw in the Plumline one. and information tags. If we're trying to tag individual 360 photos, it was always really manual because we need to do it on every single 360 photo, whether this platform makes it quite seamless. Here's just an example of a MacBook 3D scan of an empty house that is then virtually staged. At the moment, this is an expensive process because we might do 40 different 360 positions, and each one of those needs to be virtually staged and put back in. It's because the primary viewing is in the 360 photos, not the 3D mesh. But I think there's a lot of potential there for being able to combine 3D rendered objects into actual scans of physical places. So what I'm looking forward to is a faster camera, and for like that construction shoot, it could mean an 8-hour shoot in 1 to 2 hours. There's a lot of time just waiting for the camera to capture and then for it to process. I'd love to see, with the same system, being able to scan outside. Most of the work's inside based, and we're using 360 photos and other platforms for outside. A greater scan distance and accuracy, and as soon as we're getting kind of a tighter scan mesh, it might transition from being more of the 360 photo where you're actually spending your time looking to the 3D render where you can just zoom straight through and have full movement. And that is me.
Well done.